For more than 20 years, hormone therapy carried the scariest label in medicine. Now that black box warning is being removed. So, is estrogen finally safe again? If you're battling hot flashes, night sweats, brain fog, or sleepless nights, this is big news. The FDA has decided to remove the black box warning from many menopause hormone therapies. For years, that warning scared women and even doctors away from treatment. But today, the message is changing. In this video, we'll explain why the warning was there in the first place, what changed in 2025, who is most likely to benefit, and who should still be careful. You'll get clear, simple guidance you can use in a real conversation with your doctor, without fear and without confusion. Why was there a black box warning? Back in 2002, a huge study called the Women's Health Initiative made headlines. Early results suggested that hormone therapy might raise the risk of breast cancer, heart disease, stroke, and blood clots. Prescriptions dropped overnight. The FDA put a black box warning, the strongest label, on many hormone products. Doctors began saying, use the lowest dose for the shortest time. But those results were later questioned and reanalyzed. Why? Because many women in that study were older and started therapy long after menopause, and risks can look different if you start late. Also, many of the early concerns came from combined therapy, estrogen plus a progestin, not estrogen alone. Bottom line, the old warning was painted with a very broad brush. It scared almost everyone, even when the actual risk for the right patient was small. What did the FDA change in 2025? In 2025, the FDA reviewed the newer evidence and listened to expert panels and public comments. The agency is now removing the class-wide black box warnings that linked menopausal hormone therapy to breast cancer, cardiovascular disease, and dementia for all women in a one-size-fits-all way. Most importantly, the FDA is not removing the boxed warning about endometrial cancer for systemic estrogen-only products. If you still have your uterus, taking estrogen alone can stimulate the uterine lining, which is why people with a uterus usually need a progestin along with estrogen to protect the lining. That boxed warning stays. So what does change? Labels will still include safety information, but the scariest, all caps, black box about general risks is coming off many products. This opens the door for more personalized decisions, especially for women who are near the time of menopause and truly suffering. Why timing, type, and route matter. Think of hormone therapy like a toolkit. The right tool at the right time for the right person can help a lot. Timing. Starting a few years before or after your final period, or under age 60, is often safer than starting much later. This is sometimes called the window of opportunity. Earlier start equals better benefit-risk balance for many women. Type and route. Transdermal estrogen, like patches and gels, is absorbed through the skin. It's less likely to cause blood clots than some estrogen pills because it doesn't pass through the liver in the same way. Oral estrogen is still used, but may carry a slightly higher clot risk in some people. Low-dose vaginal estrogen, rings, tablets, creams, mainly treats local symptoms like dryness and painful sex. It has very low systemic absorption and is not the same as taking a full-body dose. This is why a single black box never fit everyone. Your age, your timing, your route, and your health history all matter. Who is most likely to benefit now? If your life is being disrupted by hot flashes, sleep problems, mood swings, brain fog, or vaginal dryness, and you are within about 10 years of menopause, the new labeling supports a fresh, open conversation about hormone therapy. If you do not have a uterus, for example, you've had a hysterectomy, your doctor may consider estrogen-only therapy. If you have a uterus, you will likely need estrogen plus a progestin or a device like a levonorgestrel IUD to protect the uterine lining. When therapy is a good fit, you can reasonably expect fewer hot flashes and night sweats, better sleep and steadier energy, less vaginal dryness and discomfort, and protection against rapid early bone loss after menopause. No treatment is perfect, but for the right woman, at the right time, the benefits can be life-changing. Who should still be cautious? Even with the 2025 update, hormone therapy is not for everyone. Be extra careful and speak to your doctor if you have a history of breast cancer or very high breast cancer risk, unexplained vaginal bleeding, active liver disease, a recent blood clot or stroke, or a strong inherited clotting risk, migraine with aura, or hard-to-control high blood pressure, or if you are far past menopause. For example, starting well beyond 10 years after your final period. Also remember, if you have a uterus, estrogen alone is not appropriate. You need progestin protection to reduce the risk of endometrial cancer, and that specific boxed warning remains on systemic estrogen-only products for a reason. If you fall into a gray area, don't assume the answer is no. It may simply mean you need a tailored plan, different dose, different route, like a patch, or even non-hormonal options. Myths versus facts. Myth: all forms of estrogen are the same. Fact: they are not. A low-dose vaginal product is very different from a full-dose oral pill, and patches and gels act differently than pills. Matching the route to the problem is key. If I start hormones, I'm stuck forever. Fact: not true. You can start, reassess benefits and side effects, continue only if it helps, and pause or taper later with a plan. The black box era pushed many women to suffer in silence. For the right woman at the right time, hormone therapy can safely bring back sleep, calm the heat, protect bones, and give you your days and nights back. This is not about hype. It's about personal, evidence-based care. If this helped, subscribe, tap like, and share it with a friend who's struggling with menopause symptoms. Comment below. Which symptom would you want hormone therapy to fix first? And why?